Welcome to the weekend, at least it is for me. It's Wednesday evening. Today has been a busy day, as usual. However, it's good to be home. It's good to not having to plan on going anywhere this evening. However, life changes. You never know what happens. So I hope you had a good day today, whatever day it is. I hope you have a good weekend whenever that comes to you. And I hope you enjoy this reading, which my wife said I would enjoy, and I've read it. And yes, I like it. It's called Choosing Peace. The writer is Reverend Dr. Ron Fox, and he wrote this in August 2017. And what about Ron Fox? Well, the daily guides, as mentioned before, every month there's a cover that kind of gives you the theme that it's going to follow for the month. The theme for August 2017 by Ron Fox was, "At the center of confusion, there is peace. At the center of confusion, there is peace." And what do we know about Ron Fox? Well, here's a little bit about him. As of 2017, I'm not sure how up to date this is. Well, he was the spiritual director for a Center for Spiritual Living, Space Coast, Cocoa Village in Florida. And he's also served in Arizona and California Centers for Spiritual Living, or Centers of Centers for Spiritual Living. And he's had numerous positions within our organization, including awards committees, the Silmar Committee, and regional support coordinator, human resources. And in 2017, he was living in Merritt Island, Florida. Is he still there? I don't know. But what did he have to say about his introduction to the guys? He said he's honored to write them, and he personally received so much inspiration from these writings over the years that they serve as a tool that in his opinion, they serve as a tool that enables you to go deeper along your spiritual journey. And he said he finds them good to reflect on them first thing in the morning. Well, by popular consent, we do ours in the early evening, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. He says, however you choose to use them, I hope they serve you well and assist you in becoming centered in the grounding force of spirit. So that's about Ron Fox. And here is his piece. First quote is from Joan Borisenko, who I had the pleasure of meeting quite a few years ago at a conference I was at. And she says, every day brings a choice to practice stress or practice peace. Now, this is something that is simple, but believe me, it's not easy. And I'm sure most of you out there will agree with me. It's simple, but it isn't easy. On the way back from going to Costco, my wife had to replace her hearing aids because the ones that Costco initially sold her weren't working out for her. And on the way back, we were actually talking about this. Ernest Holmes says, one alone in consciousness with the infinite constitutes a complete majority. Knowing this in your own thought, work in perfect peace and calm. And that's from the Science of Mind textbook on page 184. And of course, this is always the 1930s edition. And then he goes on to talk to us about a fable. There's a fable that describes a king who offered a prize for the person who could paint the best picture of peace. There were two finalists. One drew a picture of peaceful mountains, fluffy clouds, and a calm lake. The other drew a picture of an angry sky, lightning, and a rushing waterfall. You can guess what's coming, but you probably don't know why, right? Behind the waterfall was a tiny bush growing from a crack in a rock, and there sat a mother bird in her nest in perfect calm. Of course, it wouldn't be a fable otherwise. The king chose the second picture, Why? Because, as the anonymous author described, quote, peace doesn't mean to be in a place where there's no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of these things and still be calm in your heart. In other words, you need to be the center in which the storm is blowing around. You know, every time a hurricane comes through here, it's got this huge center. And when as it did with Ike many years ago here, it was a huge center, like 50 miles across or something. And when it passed over here, of course, when you were in the eye of the storm, it was perfectly calm. But outside of that storm, winds were raging, howling, rain was pouring down. So that's what we're saying. And then Ron Fox quotes from the famous spiritual teacher who passed away not too long ago, the great teacher of mindfulness. Thich Nhat Hanh wrote about how people responded to the stress of crowded refugee boats when they encountered storms or pirates. He said, if everyone panicked, the boat capsized. If only one person remained calm and centered in God, that was enough to save everyone. What a wonderful example of how powerful our faith can be. Not only do we affect our own life, but we affect the lives of all those around us. When we choose peace, we experience the divine. And no matter what appearances seem to be, deep within we are calm and serene because we know that all is well and life is unfolding just as it should. So it's really a simple message and it doesn't really need a lot of explanation. And as I said, because it's simple, doesn't mean to say it's easy. You know, sometimes we get involved in that mind chatter and it just doesn't seem to go away. And then when stress comes, goodness knows what happens. But as we said many times before, when your life is built on a solid foundation, the rock foundation that Jesus talks about, the house built on rock withstands the storm. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. It's that calm that's at the center of a storm. So no matter what's going on around you, you feel calm. But it takes work, it takes practice. And it also is really hard to say that there's any one person can do it all the time. I don't think there is. I think there are people who are really good at it. And I think there are people who are not even touching it. But most of us are somewhere in the middle. And as we do more spiritual work, that's what happens. We become more easily able to be that calm at the center of the storm. He wrote his affirmations. It's really 3 affirmations. Today I choose peace. That's a good one. No matter what occurs on the outside, I move within and experience peace and ease. Or if you like, I experience the peace and ease of spirit, whichever way you want. In my heart, I know that all is well. Maybe that's the best one to use. In my heart, I know that all is well. And that's really all I've got. I did say I would read from Murphy one of these days. Maybe I can find Murphy and do it now. Or should I save it? Why don't I save that for the weekend? I will save Murphy for tomorrow. You remember Murphy the Human Whisperer? It's actually from the July edition. I didn't read it then. I will read Murphy. I like it because it's so simple. I also, as I said, I got the book and I can read more of Murphy. So I'll do that one of these other days. So I just want to wish you a good rest of the day. As I said before, take care. We are in either heat warnings or whatever things come from the weather services, you know? So take it easy if you live in this part of the world. If you live in the part of the world where there's lots of water gushing down, take it easy. If you're living in a part of the world which is nice and cool, and just got enough rain, but not too much. Just be glad, be grateful. And soon, even down here, we will be through this heat wave. I don't know when, but we will. So remember, Reverend Lisa will be on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock-ish. I think she came out about 9:25 this morning. Anyway, 9-ish Central Time. And until I see you next time, take care. Really take care of yourselves. And then once you do that, you can take care of others. But be kind to yourself. Take care of yourself. Namaste.